Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte. We are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Our next guest is a Grammy Award-nominated certified platinum singer, songwriter, and actress. She starred on Broadway, TV, and film, and is the youngest contestant to have won American Idol. Now, she's partnered up with Kalahari Resorts and Conventions for National Waterpark Day. Folks, give me a round of sound, a ridiculous amount of noise, because the great Jordin Sparks is sitting right here.
Thank you. That was a very nice intro. Thank you for thank you for that.
You did all those things.
I know. It's just weird to hear them all in like one
Fair enough.
big chunk consecutive.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're quite accomplished.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I am so excited you're here to hang out with you and talk to you. This is so much fun. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you doing? How's summer? I know it's very hot out there.
Summer's good. Yeah, heat advisory today in New York, so everybody be careful when you leave. But I'm doing really well. Summer has gone by so fast. Like we're already almost at the end of July, and I'm kind of like, where did that go?
It's wild. You get to that like July 6th and all of us after 4th of July. I feel like it just flies.
That's true.
Everything's building up to. There's anticipation. You get to 4th of July. You're in summer mode, and then all of a sudden it's like back to school's happening.
I would agree with that. I mean, I'm not going back to school, but
I know, but you hear it.
That was my favorite time of year when I was a kid.
What?
It really was. Back to school shopping.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I still have an obsession with like crayons and markers. I have so many of them in my house, and then I can't find them because I lose them, and then I buy more, and I have this like never-ending plethora of crayons and markers.
When you were little, what was your favorite? I can't wait to go buy a new blank for back to school. Was it a folder? Was it like a new backpack?
Crayons and markers.
Crayons and markers. That was
crayons and markers and binders.
Binders.
I loved the zip binders. I didn't want mine to be open with the papers flying everywhere. I wanted to get the first like zip binder. I had
5-star, I think.
Yes, 5-star. Yes,
right,
absolutely. And the notebooks. I really liked notebooks too, and I have a ton of those. Like journaling. I always loved
spiral or the marble
Spiral.
with the little spiral. Yeah.
Spiral for
flexibility,
sure.
of course.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
gosh, back to school. That's
I
so
know.
crazy. It's been so long since I've really done that.
Well, I mean, DJ's only just over a year now, so you've got some
he's
time
14
before you get into that
months.
zone.
Yeah, but he just learned how to say colors. So he says color, color, color all the time. I didn't teach him. My nieces did. I left for a couple hours and I came back and he was saying color, color, color. And I was like, you're really smart. I need to be careful. I need to be careful with what I say because he's like in that little mockingbird phase, but it's so adorable.
So incredibly adorable. For a second, I thought you meant like he's saying colors, like red, blue. Yeah, I was about to be like that.
Well, he's doing those too, but he meant
well?
like he sees a full marker box. He just says colors.
Just colors.
Yeah, it's just colors. And so that's what he's doing right now.
so cute.
I could talk about him all day, but I know that.
No, we've got time.
That's
we
not
might.
why I'm here for that. But
Hey, kind of in a way.
Okay.
We'll get to. We'll talk a little bit more about DJ in a second.
Yeah.
But one of the things I did want to ask you about is I saw, and this does include, you posted a really cute video. You said the recording in the studio is never going to be the same
never
again.
going to be the same.
Because you were sort of exposing DJ to that world and like teaching him microphones, and pop screen filters, and all.
Yes, exactly.
All the ins and outs of what goes on back there, which is really exciting. Exciting for two reasons. One, that's just a great moment to see. But two, you're working on new music.
Yes.
Yes, very are. There's ooze in the crowd. Of course there are. I want to talk about that. You just recently had an EP come out, which was really fun.
Thank you.
I thought that was a great collaboration
You liked
with Blake.
it? Thank you
it's
so much.
fantastic. Where did that come from? Where did the idea to do that?
So Elijah and I have been friends for a while. I mean, I can't really actually remember the year that we met because it's been so crazy. But we've been friends for a while, and we always get along really well in the studio and in life. And he called me up one day in January and was just like, hey, let's just do a joint project and put it out in a couple months. And I was like, all right, why not? So that's pretty much how it came up. He had a studio in his house, and it was me, my husband, and Dana and Elijah in the studio for about a week. We recorded it about a week, and then, figured out all the stuff, had to make sure we got everything up on all the platforms and all that, and then we put it out, and it was a lot of fun to be able to do. And it was also a good lesson for me as well because, sometimes when you go through things when you're younger, you still kind of feel that the things are the same, like being with a label and, not being able to control when you release things. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can put anything out right now because it's not all set up right and blah, blah, blah. But life is so different now, and the way we consume music is so different, that when Elijah said that, I was like, yeah, why not? And then we put it out, and I was like, I'm not in trouble for this. Like, I'm good. Like, this is okay. So it was a really good experience to be able to do.
And that's one of the things I was really curious about because it feels like yesterday that you won American Idol, but it was like just a little over a decade. Like it's like 11, 12 years.
It was 12 years.
12 years.
It'll be 13 years in May.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which we're closer to than not.
Yeah.
which is also very crazy that 2020 is closer than it isn't.
That's so nuts.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it feels like it was yesterday. But and especially in terms of the music industry, it was a different planet. When you were creating back then and working back then and doing that.
My season of Idol was the first year they did the singles, put the singles up on iTunes. That we sang on the show. So like that was still a first. iTunes was pretty much there.
Yeah.
Instagram didn't exist. Snapchat didn't exist. Twitter was there, but
we
it
had to
wasn't
watch the show by candlelight.
Exactly.
I rode a horse to work.
Facebook was still for college kids. Like it wasn't for everybody, you know. So it's definitely changed a lot since I started, and it's really crazy, but it's a good thing too. Like I'm really grateful that 12 years later, I mean, I still get to sit and talk, and people are interested in what I have to say. So,
of course.
So thank you. I appreciate that. I never take that for granted.
What is, for all the things that have changed, what's something that still feels the same from when you would step in front of a mic in the studio back then to now?
I think the confidence I have with it has definitely I wouldn't say improved, but like has grown immensely. But one thing that hasn't changed is the way I feel when I sing on stage. I still get really nervous. I always feel like I have to pee right before I sing. Yes, I'm always like, dang it, this happened again. But it never fails. Like I still get, not necessarily scared, but just anxious. Like I just get so excited to get on stage. And then when I'm on stage, it's where everything makes sense. Like I feel like all the pieces of my life go like this, and it's where I'm meant to be. And then I get off stage and life is crazy again. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, that's always been a safe space for me, is just to be on stage singing songs, and I just want to make people feel something. You know, I want to tell stories through my music and be able to be in those memories that people have. Music is such a fond thing. You can hear a song and be taken right back to that moment where you first heard it, or the memory happened, or your first kiss, or whatever it was. And it's just such a beautiful thing, and I love being a part of that, so that's never changed.
That's a beautiful thing, by the way. I just want to comment on how beautiful that is. That's a beautiful thing. But, you know, obviously DJ coming into your world, into your life, that alters so many things, your perspective on the world and just everything. You discover this new level of love as a person. You know, but what has it done in terms of when you sit down to write a song? How has it influenced or changed where your head goes and what you think about and what you want to write about?
Well, it's been really interesting because I can sing a sad song. Like, I can really sing a sad song, and I love doing that. But going into the studio and trying to write a sad song has been kind of difficult because I'm in such a happy place. So, like, I go in there, and I'm like, they're like, okay, they play me the track, or we listen to something, or we start talking about a concept, and it's really sad, and I'm just like, I'm really happy right now. So it's very hard to kind of get in touch with that. But I do eventually. It just takes a little bit more time. And especially if DJ's in the studio with me, it's really hard to write a sad song if he's there.
If he's there, how could you possibly?
No. So a lot of the stuff right now is very upbeat and happy and fun, and some silly stuff and different things like that. But he really has changed my life. Him and my husband have absolutely just the depth of emotion that I have, my empathy for others, my compassion for other people. I feel like I've always been that way, but now it's just even deeper. Like I feel things so much more deeply that sometimes I'm in a session and I'm just like, it doesn't have to be that deep, Jordin. It's okay. It's just a song, and I kind of have to like talk myself out of it, you know.
Back a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been an amazing 2 years. We just had our anniversary last night, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank
Hold
you.
for applause. Anniversary last night.
Thank you. Yes. 2 years. We made it 2 years, and it's been a really interesting journey, but it's been a great. I love this chapter of my life. Like I love it. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't rewind. I love what I've accomplished and all the things that I've done, but I really love where I'm at now and where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, everything you've accomplished and done has led to this moment, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Can I get a whoop whoop? That's
there we
right.
go. Yeah, there you go. That's the congratulations siren.
Congratulating me. Thank you.
We have that in New York now. The congratulations siren every time you celebrate 2-year anniversary.
Congratulatory sirens. That should be a thing, I think.
That's why we have the studio where we have it.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, especially, okay, so we have the Kalahari logo up here for a reason. You have a really cool partnership you're doing, but tying into that, working in the studio, working on some new music, it's a hard thing. It's a lot of hours, a lot of time.
Yeah.
It is the summertime. You got a little one. Our family vacation's important. Are you carving out time?
Yes.
Make sure everybody's relaxing as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, last summer was a little different because he was just born.
Yeah.
So
Very timely.
we were very
Fragile.
much just wanting to stay home and all of that.
Terrified of everything.
Yes, absolutely.
At all costs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, to all the things. But this year it's so crazy because he started like assisted walking at 9 months. So he's just like ready to go. He's running, he's talking, he's doing all this stuff. So working and all the things we do, we kind of, everybody gets caught up in everyday life, the hustle and bustle of everyday life. And it's just so important to be able to take a step back and go, okay, as a family, we're going to go do this, or we're going to go do this, and we're going to leave home for a second and everything that goes on there. We're just going to focus on having fun. And I think it's really important for all of us to do. But yeah, my life gets super crazy and I really want to do that. And DJ loves the water. Like, it doesn't matter if it's bath time, if it's shower time, if it's coming out of a hose or a spray bottle, he wants to play with it. And we went to Kalahari Resorts this past weekend. And when we walked into the water park, his eyes were the size of plates. It was so amazing to watch how excited he got. And it was massive. It's the largest indoor water park in America. And I can't even explain to you on a scale that would make sense.
The place looks magical the way. We had some cool B-roll they're going to throw up in a second just so people at home can get a sense of what it looks like. But was that your first time there as well?
It was my first time there.
Yeah, here they can see while you're talking.
It's like, it is absolutely magical. It is so much fun, and they have a place for everybody. So usually they mean 10 and up when people are like, oh, yeah, it's for all ages. But they really were thorough with what they built, because the little section for DJ was 1.5 feet of water. There were slides, there were swings, there were fountains, there was little basketball hoops so he could play basketball. And he just was so excited. They're required to have their life jackets on so everybody's okay. Yeah. It was amazing. We had a blast. And the great thing about also partnering with Kalahari is we made a donation to the USA Swimming Foundation's Make a Splash program, which goes into underserved communities and teaches kids how to swim. And studies have shown that kids who know how to swim, not only do they learn motor skills and social skills, but they're healthier and they have more confidence. And who doesn't want that for their kids? And I just think it's an amazing thing to do. And especially during the summer, every vacation is most likely near a body of water at some point. You're camping, there's a river or a lake. You're at the beach, you're by the ocean. You had a pool party, obviously there's a pool, a water park, all these different things. And nobody wants their child to feel left out because they can't swim. And not only that, they should be able to have fun around the water, but be safe too.
Well, it's one of those things that seems so obvious, but I think could very easily, if you don't live near a body of water, or you don't think about it, and you don't think about making sure that your child is comfortable in those circumstances. I just think it's a really good thing to do.
Absolutely.
Studies aside, it's good for them to be comfortable in that scenario and be prepared.
Comfortable. And, there are some places where they might not even have the opportunity to go. Maybe there isn't a backyard pool. Maybe they aren't near the body of water. So you're right. Like it's one of those things where they should learn, and every kid should know just in case. And also just for the skills of being able to have fun.
Also, just like socially, I grew up, I didn't have a beach family. I didn't go to, I wasn't in an ocean. I went to pools as a kid, but I never like stepped foot in an ocean till I want to say 17 years old. Wow. Very late. Yeah. Very weird for me to have not done that, apparently. I got made fun of quite a bit. Yeah, no, I endured. Don't worry, don't pity me. I'm fine now. I've been to an ocean. I'm just saying, getting them there early, it just eliminates one more layer of unnecessary stress. They don't have to be the weird kid that's never been in the ocean or is afraid of seaweed.
What is that? I'm afraid of seaweed. I don't like it touching me. I have a very irrational fear of the ocean, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm terrified of the ocean.
Give me a pool, I'm fine, but as soon as nighttime falls, I freak out in the pool too. I don't know why. I'm just
you can't see the bottom or something like that? You gotta...
The shadows. They're so crazy. But no, I've always had a really weird fear of the ocean. I've gone in it, and I've gone on boats and stuff, but I would prefer to stay on land.
Are you a slide person, lazy river person? What are you?
Oh, lazy river.
All day.
For sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Give me a nice pina colada and a lazy river and I am good.
I'm there.
Yes, I'm good to go. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the philanthropic portion of your partnership with Kalahari, which is very cool, and something that you've always gone out of your way, I feel like, to in some way give back. Even before you won Idol, I feel like you were doing that as well. Where does that come from, you think, that part of you that feels a need to do that, to be a good person? Where does that come from? Why are you good? Go.
I don't know.
Where does that come from?
No, my mom and dad were always trying to figure out ways to give back to the community and to do things that made a difference when we were younger. And I remember specifically, a few things specifically, whenever we would get a new toy, we had to take a toy out of our room to donate. So whatever we got, the same amount had to leave our room to go donate and give to other kids. Yeah. And I think that really stuck with me, as well as... when Christmas would come around or different things like that, I remember we went to this food spot, and they had the little, you could turn in cash for coupons for meals, and we would take those and we would go around and offer to see, like, would you like these to buy some meals? And it was a really cool way to be able to provide something for somebody without them feeling any type of way over it, but it's just, I don't know, it's been instilled in me since I was very young. And one of my favorite quotes that I love to live by is by Audrey Hepburn. She said that you have two hands, one to help yourself and one to help others. And for me, what is this platform if I can't make a difference, or if I can't share it with somebody else, or try and do good with it? And we're all in line to leave this planet. We don't know when or where, but I hope that I leave something bigger than me. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Go ahead and applaud. I'm going to turn it over in just a second to the audience. We got some questions out there I want to get to.
Yay.
Very fun,
okay, good.
very fun. But I would be remiss not to bring up, I know it was a little while ago, but you were in one of my favorite Broadway shows of all time. I love In the Heights. You were Nina. That's insane.
Oh,
you were there.
I miss it every day.
I'm just, what was that like?
Oh,
How
my
cool.
God.
Tell me about that experience, and if it was, what surprised you about it, if it was exactly what you had hoped for, what you learned. Just give me as much as you can.
I didn't know I'd been such a big fan of Broadway shows, but I'd never thought of what the schedule would be. That was a lot. 8 shows a week is a lot. But it was amazing. It was such a family environment. Like, I came in, I'd never done Broadway before. I'd never really experienced that before. And instead of, they could have just been like, well, you're on your own. You just learn your part and, you'll do this. It could have been that way. Yeah. But they just welcomed me with open arms and were like, we will help you do whatever you need. And even on stage, there was one night when I forgot my lines in the middle of our scene. And I'm supposed to be telling her that I dropped out of college, the scene with the parents. And I just was like, I was in the middle and I was like, yeah. And then the mom was like, she was like, well, aren't you going to tell us something? And I was like, oh yeah, I dropped out. Like, I just completely blanked the major scene in the show. But I absolutely loved it, and I would love to do it again. I mean, obviously it would have to be the right thing, because it's a big time commitment, and it's a lot of work, but I would love to do it again. I love the stage. Plus, I'm one of the weird artists. Like, I like touring once I get on the stage, but except for the travel part. I love Broadway because everybody has to come to me. I stay in one spot. I can just stay there. I get to sing, act, dance, do everything.
Tour. Yeah.
Exactly. So I would love to do it again.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I was curious about that because I knew it had to have been a crazy experience, and I just wondered how you felt about going back and stuff like that.
It was amazing. I really do miss it every day.
Like,
every time somebody says that, I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm like, it was so fun. I sing the songs all the time too.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Like, breathe. That it. Reminders.
Yeah. That's legally, it's a good thing you stopped. We can't afford any more than that.
Right.
If you sing any more, legally that's as much as you can sing. So, I'm going to turn over the audience. National Waterpark Day is upon us.
July 28th.
July 28th.
Yes.
What better way to celebrate than a visit to Kalahari here?
Yes.
And so
go
cool.
to the Poconos.
Go to the Poconos.
That's the one we went to. It was so fun.
Yeah. So everybody wants to go to the Poconos at some point.
Yeah, why
just
not?
so you could say, I'd
never been. It was my first time.
That's a fun thing. Sounds like a fun time. Thank you. Kate's telling me I got at least 2 questions, or she's saying peace. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 questions. Let's go to the first one. Microphone. Go for it.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Gloria Jules.
Nice to meet you, Gloria.
Thank you. Same here. My question is, what is the biggest fear that you have?
Just in general?
Yes. I know you
What
mentioned
list are
ocean.
you
I know
compiling,
there gotta
Gloria
be
Jules?
something.
What do you
Ooh. Okay. Well, the ocean is one of them. Because I just don't know what's underneath me. That's just we don't know enough about what's down there. I'm good. Moths. Irrational fear of I know bugs shouldn't be fluffy. They're just so weird.
Okay, like fluffy moths.
Yeah, the big ones, like the little ones or whatever.
Like
but
the little white ones that just flutter around and go away. Those you can handle.
The big ones like the size of your hand. No,
Yeah.
I cannot do it.
that. Okay, I'm with you.
Which is funny because I can deal with snakes and scorpions and stuff like that, but I can't deal with moths. It's weird.
I need a whole hour to get into that.
And then right, and then I think. I don't know, to be honest, lately, one of my biggest fears is what's going to happen to our planet for my son. Like, what are we going to leave? Like, what's going to happen when he's, in his 20s? What is the planet going to look like? And so I've been trying to figure out ways to be more sustainable and how I can lessen my imprint with plastics and things like that. I've been very, very aware of that lately. So, that's a big fear, too.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gloria.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got one more, and it's going to be right here. Hey, go for it.
Hello.
Ooh, I love your tattoo.
Oh, thank you. I just got it.
It's beautiful.
I wanted to congratulate you on being a mother.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know, how has motherhood been for you?
It's been great. I love it. I've always loved kids, so I knew if I ever had the opportunity to be blessed with being a mom that I would, but I had no idea that I would adore it as much as I have. But in the beginning, it was really crazy because my anxiety went through the roof. I was so scared of everything. I was scared of going outside. I was scared of people holding him, people touching him, leaving the house, leaving him with people, and it was so overwhelming that I had my husband was so great because he helped me walk through it because I wouldn't leave the house.
How did you get past that?
For me, my husband was a big part of it. My family too, doing research on it as well because I was trying to understand, you just have a baby and your hormones, your emotions are everywhere. And I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on here. And, doing my research, but also for myself, I was like, okay, I can either let this paralyze me or I can harness it and use it to propel me forward. And so that's what I did. I was like, I'm not going to be scared of this. I have to face it. And just the more I started leaving the house, the easier it got. And I think that was something really key, but nobody really talks about what happens after. They're like, you have the kid, okay, have a great time. But there's so many things that happen afterwards that moms and dads need to be prepped for. Everyone has a different experience with it, but it definitely is crazy. But it's been great. I love it. Yes. Thank you.
We were getting a signal real quick.
Hi,
I don't know if we can get a shot of this,
baby.
but the famous DJ has just arrived. Oh my gosh, so adorable. Well, you know what? That's my cue to let you go. You have more important things to do right now.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us, though.
me.
It was so great having you on
Yeah,
the
it was a
show.
blast.
Oh, thank you.
Can I come back?
I was going to say, when your music drops, you going to come back?
I will. I
You
will
better.
absolutely come
Can
back.
you tell us when it's going to drop? Do you know?
I keep adding more songs to it, so I don't have a release date
You know what?
yet.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
I'm still working on it.
When it's ready,
But yeah.
you let us have it, and then you come on back. You tell us
Sounds
how
good.
you made it.
I will do that.
Okay, that is a deal.
Thank
you
you.
so much again. Everybody, thank you for being a great audience.
Thank you,
Thanks for tuning in.
guys.
Round of applause for Jordin Sparks right here. Come on.